Fresh Start Furnishings has merged with Intercounty Outreach to now form the new organization, Fresh Start Furnishings at Intercounty Outreach. This collaboration is going to provide furniture to families in need at no cost. Intercounty Outreach is a faith-based organization that serves Harford, Baltimore, and Cecil counties. With this collaboration, we're going to hear about how these two organizations are coming together to help families live their best lives and get a fresh start. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. It is my honor to be joined by Pastor Dr. Nate Johnson. Nate is here to tell us all about this wonderful program of Intercounty Outreach, and this is a man of many titles. He does so much for the organization and has pretty much his entire family involved as well, so it really makes a difference. Thanks for taking the time for being with us today.
Thank you.
Now, Pastor Nate, I want to talk about Intercounty Outreach. What exactly is it? Who are you guys, and who do you serve?
Intercounty Outreach is an outreach of Aberdeen Bible Church. So we have a spiritual impact that we want to make in the community, which is the church, reaching out to the community. And then we have a secular impact that we want, with also is faith-based, the church, the outreaches, Intercounty Outreach. So we look at it from a holistic perspective. So we look at emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. So we use the church to reach out to do the majority of the spiritual impact, and we utilize Intercounty Outreach to focus on some of the physical, emotional aspects of community, and to address the needs that are in the community physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Now, what really inspired you to start ICO, and how has your vision really evolved over the past 40 years?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Harford County, went to school at Edgewood High School, and one of the things that occurred was the impact that several individuals made in my life in terms of impacted me in my education as well as my social standing within the community. And one of those individuals, Bill Hunter, who was my science teacher in the 8th grade, and the other was one of the teachers in the high school and at the middle school level, Miss Sandra Jones. Those two individuals were highly impactful in my life. Then there were my coaches, Bud Coakley and Forrest Weiss, who were very inspirational in terms of impacting my life. So they poured into my life, and because of that, when I went off to college to play football, which didn't work out well, got hurt early on, and as I got involved in corporate America, I still was engaged in working in church and working in community. And one of the things that I saw was the need specifically for single moms with males impacted in their lives, and as my life was impacted by this certain individuals, Miss Jones and Mr. Hunter. If it wasn't for those individuals, my life, I think, would have been on a different trajectory. But with the help of those individuals, I was able to move on, graduate from college. And I thought that I would come back to my community and give back as those individuals poured into my life.
Let's talk about your recent merger with Fresh Start Furnishings. How did this all come about? How did you guys decide a collaboration would be a good idea?
Well, Fresh Start had a vision to be holistic as well, not just to support families in Harford County. As you're aware, Harford County I think is deficient in housing, and along with housing are the necessary furnishings that are needed in order for individuals who are in need of a hand up to furnish their house. And so they had a focus on that. And we were excited to partner with them because they also had a vision for employment, had a vision for assisting with individuals with other needs. So they looked at it from a holistic perspective as well. And it was just a obvious and a natural match.
Now, for all of these wonderful programs, all these wonderful services that you offer, are there any costs associated with it?
We do a fee for service for some of our mental health. Right now, there is absolutely no cost for our Fresh Start, as I know it to be currently. Most of our programs we write grants for. So we do after school, we do in school, we provide many wraparound services that will allow us to all the way from dealing with mental health to actually providing food and housing, working with utilities. So we have a basic needs program. We have a strong outreach in terms of youth. And so we deal with behavioral issues. We deal with academic issues, both during school and after school. So we do a number of things. Most of it is grant-driven.
Pastor Nate, I wish there was more people in the world like you. Thank you so much for giving your heart and everything that you have to your community, not only you, but your daughters and your entire church community as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now we're going to find out more about some of the programs and the culture and what Intercounty Outreach is doing to reach out to the community and help those in need. Stay with us. Natalie Johnson is the Chief Operating Officer here at Intercounty Outreach, and she really keeps things together and makes sure that all these people in need in our community get the services that they require. Thank you so much for all that you do, and thank you for being here.
And thanks for having me. I'm so happy.
Natalie, you are one busy woman. So run me through a typical day here at ICO.
Okay, typical day. I get up around 7. I check my emails. So, and on my calendar, my EA sends me a list of things I'm supposed to do at around 4 a.m. So I make sure I know where I'm supposed to be going, which county I'm supposed to be going in. Then at 9 o'clock, I have a project team meeting. We didn't talk about that, but ICO has some major capital strategic plans going on currently. So I have a project team. So I meet with them from 8:30 to around 9:30. Then I get into the office around 9:45. And it becomes a whirlwind after that, from grant writing to managing the team, managing marketing and communications, checking in with program directors, handling complaints, doing check-ins with the finance office, making sure we're getting paid for the things that we're doing, checking in with HR, making sure we're properly staffed, everyone's where they're supposed to be.
Wow, so you are booked from start to finish.
So start to finish I get home around 7 o'clock.
Well, we love that dedication. Love that dedication. But how do you ensure that the programs operate efficiently while maintaining such high impact?
Our finance officer, my sister, is brilliant. We operate using a 4-blocker system. So the 4-blocker allows each division in each program to, in one page, tell me their needs, their risk, progress, and it color codes their KPIs. So their goals for the year or the month or the quarter, it automatically will tell me if it's in the red, in the green, or the yellow. So I come in, and once a month on the 4th, from the program director, I get a 4-blocker from each program. So that's 14 4-blockers. Then I use all of that information and compile an organizational 4-blocker for the board. So at a snapshot, I can know how many people are in each program, what the program needs, if they need a new clinician or a new office space or a new laptop, and make sure they're adhering to their mission.
What internal services or innovations have really assisted with your delivery service?
I would say we have we use some CRM systems that we keep track of the families. But I think what was best for us is that we started grouping services under a family. And it really helped with our tracking and really accounting for the work that we do in the community. Before I got here in 2019, a lot of the work that we did wasn't counted, you know. If you came for food services, but we provided some case management or mentoring, there was no way for us to count that because we just had you in comprehensive basic needs program. But now we're tracking each individual in the family and connecting those services to one family unit. And it aligns better with our mission because we're here to serve families. So it's a lot easier to track, to record impact, and to plan for the future.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a great organization. So anybody that wants to get involved, how do we find out more?
Oh, go to our website, go to contact us, just fill it out and say, hey, I want to volunteer. And my EA or Megan, who is our communications specialist, she's going to send you an email and say, hey, what were you interested in? After school, mentoring, comprehensive basic needs? Do you want to be a mirror family? What do you want to do? Do you want to have an event? Do you want to come to summer day camp? And we'll figure out a way for you to volunteer or give back that's unique to what you like to do. We're strong believers that people have different types of talents. Not everyone's going to be a tutor. Not everyone's going to be a mentor. Some people just want to come and teach kids to sew. And if you want to do that, you can. So we figure out what you like to do, and because of the breadth of the services we provide, we can find something for you to do, even if that's doing taxes for seniors during tax season. There's always something to do. I'm blessed to be here. It's been my dream since I was a child. Our first camping trip, and I'm not going to say the year because that'll tell you how old I am, but I was 3, and I went on our first camping trip, and ever since then I've been involved, engaged. I went to Villanova and then came back home, and it's been my dream for me to carry on my father's legacy with my sisters here and the legacy families that work here, and now we're hiring their children and their grandchildren. So it's just full circle for me. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't feel more blessed. Couldn't be more excited about our next.
Natalie, thank you again so much. Really admire the work that you're doing here, and we hope that more people find out about it, get involved, and make those much-needed donations.
Thanks for having me, Christy.
Now, as we talked about, mental health is a big struggle in our community today. So how is ICO addressing that? All those answers are coming up next. Danielle Johnson is the clinical director, and let me tell you, it is a family affair here at Inter-County Outreach. They work so well together. It must be so much fun working with your family.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I always tell people growing up with my sisters, it was like us having a sleepover every single night. And now that we're here, it's the same concept. It's definitely fun. It makes things enjoyable, and when it gets kind of rough, we can lean on each other. So I love it.
Oh, I love that for you guys. Now tell me about your role as a clinical director and, of course, fantastic sister.
Yes, that one first. So yes, I'm the clinical director, and I oversee all the clinical work that we do here at Inter-County Outreach, more specifically with the mental health and our residential program. So I look into supervising our clinicians, supervising our social workers, and just really making sure that we're following best practice standards and that we're really meeting the goals of ICO.
Can you describe the scope of both the clinical and mental health services offered at ICO?
So the mental health provides services to individuals and families, and we do some group work as well. And so we're really looking into like some crisis management, some individual session services, and then just really connecting that to the good thing about Inter-County Outreach is like a wraparound services, right? So it's like we also not only look at the individual and the trauma-related things and depression and things of that nature, but also social determinants of health. So you're really looking at like, oh, this person needs crisis stabilization, housing stabilization, food disparities. So really being able to connect the mental health also with some of those, like again, social determinants of health where they may need food. And so the good thing about working here is not only will you be able to address the mental health, but also that other side as well.
But how do you ensure the quality, the culturally competent care for the individuals and the families? How does that work?
Training. So I am very big on making sure that we hire clinicians who are trained, who have some experience. We provide in-house training. We send our clinicians to outside trainings, and then also making sure that the people that we're hiring are diverse, so that we can meet all of the needs of this community.
Now, we have to talk about this. There is a lot of trends out there in the mental health community. What are you doing to address these trends?
So you're seeing a lot of trauma related. And again, right now I'm also a certified trauma therapist, and I encourage our therapists to get those trainings to meet the needs of the trends right now. So that trauma, depression, stress, anxiety, and I see a lot of that going on, and how we combat that is making sure that our staff are qualified to handle those things.
Oh, absolutely. And how do your programs really contribute to long-term stability and wellness for the clients?
Again, it's not just about that. We're not focused more on short term, but you're right, that long-term stability. Whereas, like I said before, if we're not just addressing that mental health, but we're also addressing the underlying issues. So we're really looking at, like I said, those social determinants of health, where you're addressing those needs that may trigger that mental health in the future. So we're really, again, that wraparound services helps us to do that, because again, me being hungry may affect my mental, it's going to affect my mental health.
Right.
So we make sure that we focus on both, because we understand that those social determinants of health can be triggers. We also look into protective factors, like, okay, coping skills. We're giving our clients coping skills and strategies, and connecting with community partners, so that, we're making sure that, like, if the child needs a mentor, or we're connecting with community agencies, so that it's not just us providing those services, but we have a whole community, a team. And I like to call it like a care team of people that really impact this client or patient, or however you would like to say it, and then help them to gain stability in the future.
What would you say to encourage anybody out there to get involved with your programs, whether it's donating, volunteering, or just being involved in any capacity?
Yeah, this is our community, and I see so many times people. I'm born and raised in Harford County, and I went away to school, and then I came back to go to grad school, and I always knew that I wanted my dad. It's amazing, because we've been here for a while. I can remember working in summer day camp, and it's like full circle to come back now and actually work in the mental health after going away to college and going to grad school. So this is ours. This inter-county outreach is the community. It's ours, and so I encourage people to invest in our community, and that means, like, hey, we need funding, we need resources, we need volunteers, however else, or we just need your prayers. We'll take that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Danielle, again, thank you so much. Thank you to you and your entire family. And wow, there's so many people that put so much heart and soul into this. It really does make a difference in the community. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, it does. I'm happy to be working at ICO. I've been here for a while, and I see the work that we do, and so many people, our volunteers, our staff, they love the community, and it makes the job enjoyable.
Oh my gosh, and it's so beneficial to so many people. But we want to keep the good work that they're doing here going, and that includes funding. So how can we help them raise the funds to keep these wonderful programs going? We'll find out next. Ashley Medall is the finance officer here at Intercounty Outreach, and that is not an easy job, Ashley, having to manage all that money, but it seems like here you're just so family-oriented and everybody works so well together. So I guess that makes your job a little bit easier.
A little bit.
Ashley, not an easy thing to do. Now, how do you ensure financial accountability and transparency in your operations?
It's not. So at Intercounty Outreach, the biggest thing here, we focus on structure, consistency, and documentation. So with that being said, over the past year, we made sure we strengthened our internal financial processes. What does that mean? We implemented our month-end close processes. We did our approval processes. We built structure around how we do our spending, right? So that puts accountability on the program managers. That puts accountability on our president, our COO, that puts accountability on everyone. We give financial reporting to our board members, give financial reporting even to our fundraising committee. So that gives us transparency and that holds everybody accountable. So that gives us a good visual.
Well, let me ask you this. You mentioned funding. So funding is not easy to obtain. How do you sustain it?
Well, our three main funding sources are through grants, state funding, and donations. We rely heavily on donations, so the biggest push is donations. So we have our big fundraising every single year. That's coming up in June, and we rely heavily on that. So we rely for community support, church support, and honestly, family support, and that's what we rely on. We are community-based, and we rely on our community.
With all the fundraising dollars that are raised, what are some of the things that they're used towards?
All of our programming. Here at ICO, we have three major divisions: Youth and Family Services, Comprehensive Basic Needs, and our mental health. Right now, we focus on our Youth and Family Services. All of our funding goes directly to those, focusing on our mentoring, our after-school program, anything to help the children, right? So all of our funding, we try to pour into our kids because we love them. They get spoiled. Natalie loves to feed them, so whatever they want, they get.
Hey, I like that. I come here for that. Well, let me ask you, how do you kind of balance the financial stewardship with the growing demand for services?
It is very difficult. It is very difficult trying to outweigh what to spend your money on and how to spend it, who gets money and who doesn't, what program gets money and what doesn't. We try to diversify. Currently, right now, we're trying to get our accreditation through our other divisions. We are accredited through our mental health division, so that helps with funding a lot. So being diversified, that helps us. That helps us with our funding. So that eases out all the expenses.
There you go. And what about the role of the donors and community partners?
The role, give.
I like that, very simply put.
Yes, but yeah, the biggest role is to be engaged and to give. And I know it's a lot to ask because for nonprofits, we're always asking. And a nonprofit is exactly what it is. We're nonprofit. We're non-for-profit. Nothing we have is not to our gain. It's for the community. So everything that comes in, it goes out. So we rely heavily on our donors. So that's all I can say. Give, give, give.
I like it simply put, and hopefully our community will answer.
Thank you.
Ashley, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. And hopefully the community sees this and reaches out, and maybe they can make some kind of donation to keep Intercounty Outreach and the wonderful work that you're doing going.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, coming up next, we're going to speak to the Vice President of Intercounty Outreach about some of the challenges that they're facing and what we can do as a community to help. Pete Dacey is the Vice President here at Intercounty Outreach, and he's here to tell us all about this wonderful organization and how he first got involved, more importantly, why he stays involved. Thanks so much for being with us.
Certainly.
Now, Pete, how did you first learn about ICO? What really sparked your interest?
Well, I was city manager for the city of Aberdeen, and I came to meet Pastor Nate Johnston, and once we met, we had a connection about the same age, and he went to Edgewood High School, I went to Elkton High School, and we talked about football, and from there, I ended up really helping out with some of the situations that he was involved with, some of the initiatives that he was really trying to start and get going here in Aberdeen. And after I left the city, a couple years later, he asked me to serve on the board. And, I believe that service is an essential aspect of someone's life. And I like the motto, service above self, where you can reach out and help others and do the work that we're here for, basically.
Now, you are very, very involved, like you said, with this mission. So tell me about some of the other aspects of it.
Well, the phrase being used is wraparound services, and that is a perfect statement on what ICO does. I mean, they do everything from a food pantry to sheltering, to providing services for people that are down and out, for really relationships. I mean, they build relationships, and through their different programs, in which the programs have really escalated over the last decade and a half, especially in the transition when Natalie Johnson was brought on as COO. And just being able to see how it touches other people's lives. And I know we've had a lot of activities right here in the heart of this neighborhood, and that's where the needs are, and they've been served. And it's been a quiet journey relative to the work being done and what the people do. And there's not a whole lot of publicity that's really generated within, which there should be, but there's not. There's this humble humility, if you will, with the whole organization. And that's good, but also it's important for other people to know what's happening here and how lives are being changed.
We want more people to know about you. So how does the board really address the strategic direction and the sustainability of ICO?
Well, as the years have gone by, I think it's really being able to hear from Pastor Nate Johnson and staff members relative to what is happening in the whole field of, call it social services. And there's a lot of different changes over the years relative to what the state does and how that funding affects operations of nonprofit organizations. So, just most recently, within the past 4 years, there was an effort to really serve the needs of children and spouses, if you will, or close associates of people that have been incarcerated. And something like that, really, you don't hear about what's happening with the children that have a father, a mother that's been incarcerated, and how are they existing? Are they getting enriched socially, educationally? And when that opportunity came about through the state of Maryland, ICO, through the board of directors, said, let's move in that direction, and then that's all we had to say. So one thing is understanding what the changes are and what the needs are, and then supporting that. And I think the board has really played a key role in that.
Pete, thank you so much for being here and for everything that you do. One more thing I did want to ask you is, what do you think is the best part about being involved in this organization from your vantage point?
I would use the word transformation. That really is what I've seen over 18 years as being on the board of directors, and change, obviously, over 18 years, but more so transformation is a word that I think covers everything.
As you've seen today, nonprofits are stronger when they work together. This collaboration is going to benefit so many families in the Harford County region. So if you would like to help them with their mission or just learn more about them, you can visit them at intercountyoutreach.org. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.